In this video, we'll look at the stages I went through to paint in watercolour this line and wash sketch of a beautiful clematis flower. Hi, I'm Anna Mason. Welcome to Nature Studio TV, here to help you become the artist you want to be. This sweet clematis flower made a great subject for a sketchbook study and is available as a long format video class in Nature Studio, my online art school and community. Here's a quick overview.
I sketched my outline drawing freehand using a mechanical pencil, then went over it with a black waxy coloured pencil to reinforce the line work. I love this look when I'm working in a loosish, sketchy style. I outlined the petals and stamens, but not every detail or the shadows which I'd create with the paint. Then, with my large 5 brush, I used a dilute pink colour to paint the petals. I used a stippling brush technique to create an uneven look by leaving some lighter flecks to the paper colour and slightly darker patches where the marks overlapped. I adjusted the hue slightly as I moved around the flower. This initial stage of the painting, mapping out the palest version of every colour area, is the same whether I'm working realistically or in a looser line and wash style. I then moved on to the leaves, working quickly and loosely. Then the stems. And then the stamens and centres, adjusting the hues where they were more yellow or green. I was using a limited palette of 6 paint colours for this painting. Recently I've been enjoying exploring just how many colours it's possible to mix from them. I cleaned off my palette, then set about loosely painting the darkest parts of the petals, which were the shadows cast by the stamens. With the same pinky grey mix, I then painted the shadow areas on the edges of the petals where they curled underneath. Next, with the tip of my brush, I painted the darkest tones in the flower centres, which were green. I extended that colour into the lightest areas of the centres, adding yellow to the mix and watering it down to match the transitions in hue and tone. I darkened the sides of the stem next to give a sense of their shadows. And then I painted the darkest greens in the leaves, not being too precise but leaving gaps to the paler colour beneath to give the impression of lighter coloured veins. Now it was time to add the mid-tones to the pink petals. I used a fairly watery mix here so I could achieve some subtlety, and I was working in this direction of form to accentuate the flower's curvy shape. This approach to creating plant portraits is all about expressing the beauty you notice in your subject. I call this practice botanical sketching, where the aim is not realism but rather to convey a subjective expression of your love for the subject. I find it's the perfect complement to my realistic watercolour practice, which takes a somewhat more objective stance in showing the subject as I see it. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you results from the Nature Studio members who took the full class, and you'll see how their own subjectivity comes through in their paintings. I moved on to applying the mid-tones in the leaves next, and then added some vibrant Winsor lemon in the stamens to make them pop. Then I went back to the shadow areas to darken them, and darkened the leaves some more using thicker paint, loosely picking out some veins without getting too caught up in the details. I let the painting completely dry and then went back over the lines with my black pencil to make them bolder, as my personal preference is to go dark on the line work for a really sketchy feel. With a green coloured pencil, I then added details to the stamens to enhance the 3D effect. I also used this on the leaves, colouring outside of the boundaries for a relaxed look. With a thick pink paint mix, I used my small paintbrush to add details and exaggerate the colours to bring more brightness to the shadow areas. Gently stippling with this colour, I added some veins. If I was seeking realism, I'd continue adding details at this stage, but to keep my painting looser, I stopped. All that was left was to use a mop brush loaded with very watery paint to shower a final flourish of energetic splatters onto the page to give a sense of these clematis flowers growing in a garden surrounded by others. And then my little study was complete.
A full-length video class of this clematis, complete with an outline drawing that you can trace, a reference photo and a list of paints, is available now with Nature Studio membership, where you can also get loads of advice and support on how to make botanical sketching a regular art practice to bring joy and relaxation to your life. If you've enjoyed this mini class, please subscribe to Nature Studio TV, then pop over to naturestudio.com, where you can sign up for a free class and find a whole heap of free resources to help you capture the beauty of nature on your paper. Thanks for watching, and if you want to find out more about my art school, Nature Studio, and the free class that's waiting for you there, keep on watching.
Have you taken my free full-length watercolour class yet? If not, you're in for a treat. In it, I guide you step by step through painting a juicy, realistic pear that'll make you think, wow, I did that. You'll learn a repeatable, reliable watercolour method that you can go on to use for painting all kinds of other subjects. I'm confident you'll discover something that I already know, that you're a better artist than you think. I teach everything about my watercolour method in this full-length class, and I'm sharing it with you for free because I want to show you what you can achieve with the right instruction. If it ignites a spark in you, just as it has for thousands of others who've taken this class, there are hundreds more detailed tutorials you can unlock if you choose to become a Nature Studio member. So get the free class now and get ready to wow yourself with your results.